Hello and welcome to the Seer 365 sessions, where we try and bring interesting partners for you in the dynamic space to learn from, see if there's something that would be of interest to you as part of your dynamics business and practice. And today, I'm really excited to be joined by Simplanova. Before I forget, and I always forget to do this, you can ask questions if you're watching this live. Just ask questions, and we'll try and answer them as we go. Alternatively, just ask a question and we'll come back in the comments if you're not watching it live or we don't get around to it. I'm also going to give the disclaimer that my internet has gone down twice today. So if I disappear, I'll come back. But thanks to Virgin Media, we may have an issue. But I think we should be all right. I'm praying to the IT gods will look after me. And more importantly, look after Adonis. So Adonis, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself and Simplanova?
Thank you, Richard. It's great to be here. Introduction is always the most difficult part. You're asked to introduce yourself and you forget your name.
Yeah.
All right. My name is Adonis. I work at Simplanova. We specialize in NAV and Business Central upgrades, helping Microsoft partners upgrade their customers. Simplanova is 12 years old. We'll actually celebrate our 12th birthday in March. But what our company age tell you is that for over a decade, we've been providing upgrade services, automated tools for upgrades, and even outsourcing developer resources. Over this time, we have built up quite a bit of experience, and we also share our experience freely with others. We have some of the most popular tech blogs posts for NAV and BC. In 2023, our expertise and impact in the field of upgrades have actually been recognized by Microsoft, as we have received our second title from them. So now we are a modernization center as well as ISV development center. To summarize, an easy way to think about it, when you hear Simplanova, I want you to think about the technical side of migrations.
Wonderful, thank you. So let's dive into that then. You're obviously based in Lithuania, been doing it a long time, working with both NAV and BC. But what sort of upgrades do you do? Sort of the technical upgrades. Can you explain that a little bit?
Sure thing. So all upgrades will fall into one of three categories: a technical upgrade, a clean start, or a reimplementation. I also like to separate technical upgrades into as-is upgrades and analyzed upgrades. So, for example, an as-is upgrade is just upgrading all of the customer customizations. It is the rarest type of upgrade, which is ironic because, as many partners have told me, most customers will actually start out by asking for an as-is upgrade. They want everything to work exactly as it did before, after the upgrade. Which is understandable, but most of the time, after a proper technical analysis, the customer will end up choosing the analyzed upgrade option. The benefit of an as-is upgrade is, well, as you might expect, you get everything working exactly as it did before. However, the cons are that you're likely upgrading more than you necessarily need to. Some of the functionality from the customizations might already be present on the standard version of the one you're upgrading to, or more commonly, the customizations will be entirely unused, and there's no good reason to spend time or money on upgrading them, which is why the analyzed upgrade addresses those issues. The key difference between an as-is upgrade and the analyzed upgrade is the proper technical analysis. You start from as-is upgrade and work your way through the functionalities, see what's already taken care of by the standard on the new version, find which objects the customer is actually using in order to exclude the unused ones. It's common for functionalities to be developed and forgotten over time. Say a manager comes in, requests certain functionality, it gets developed, but the manager leaves and the functionality is never used again. Repeat this for 5-6 managers and it really adds up. By excluding, I've seen cost reductions anywhere from 20 to 80%, but in the end, you're still getting all the functionality you expect as is upgrade, because you don't lose the functionality by excluding them. You're either replacing it with the standard or removing something you haven't been using in the first place, which is why this is the most common type of upgrade for us.
Thank you. And you mentioned clean start as well.
Yes, a clean start, which is also what we're implementing into Guide 365, is the simplest and also the cheapest type of upgrade. In essence, you're just migrating the customer data, leaving behind any customizations. It can be a good option if the customizations are also either taken care of by the standard, by an add-on, or you simply wish to re-implement them later, which is the third option, the re-implementation.
Okay.
Re-implementation is more accessible. It's easier to write new code. You know the functionality you need, you can just write it. And sometimes if your customer customizations are a mess, it might be better to just rewrite them. However, a reimplementation is difficult to evaluate and often ends up being more expensive compared to the analyzed upgrade.
Okay. So, and you offer this for partners, right? That is your model, is working with and through partners to take away some of the, um, clearly the partner's still going to make money from it and all that other thing, but most partners don't have spare capacity as is. So, taking this away, freeing up resource for them to do other work is kind of the big chunk of what you do.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I'd like to highlight what we do for free, because biggest part of any upgrade is the analysis. For example, uh, people who have used Guide 365 will know to use it for analysis. You get prices for licensing, right? Implementation. You need the same type of analysis when you go for upgrades. So the technical analysis is, it might sound complicated or even intimidating to make, because we need to look at the objects, what's actually being used, what's replaced by standard, it might sound intimidating to make. However, you can request one for free today, right now, basically because technical analysis is so important for upgrades, and we specialize in upgrades. We have invested a lot into perfecting them, and we're happy to make such analysis for you as well.
And then, and what would the what would, if you were a partner and you did that with you,
Just
what would
how?
that look like at the end of it? Yeah.
Sure. So the first step would be to analyze your customer solution and provide you with our evaluation. This evaluation is very detailed. Each object will be evaluated individually, so both you and your customer can go through it and see how each object is affecting the upgrade and its price. On top of that, we have a tool called Object Usage Tool, which helps us determine which objects are actually being used, filtering out the unused ones. But that's not it. The tool will also let you know how often the object is used. So in combination with the evaluation, you can see, hey, this object is evaluated quite a lot, but it's used very rarely. So you can break this information to the customer and ask, do they really need this big object? While that is a very big part, that's not it, because a proper analysis goes beyond just identifying objects and excluding the unused ones. We will also highlight key refactoring areas and UCI limitations. So if you're planning to upgrade to cloud, or even staying on-prem, but you want the UCI compliance to avoid the extra fees, you'll be able to see where UCI limitations will affect your solution and what needs to be adjusted. Oh, finally, our evaluations are fixed price. So if we make an evaluation for you, we commit to perform the upgrade for the price given. The no surprises pricing means you can easily plan ahead or include our prices in your own quote. Needless to mention, even if you want to do the upgrade yourself, such analysis will be extremely useful.
Of course. Yeah, and I think the important bit there is the partner still makes money on it. You can
Yeah.
still They can still put margin on top or whatever. So cool. And then as far as the re-implementation, um, which I think was one of your other options for
Mhm.
doing it as well. You know, what do you mean by what do you mean by re-implementation? How do you how do you do that with partners as well?
So a reimplementation is basically migrating the customer's data to the target version they want to be on, and then reprogramming their customizations on it. While it is often more expensive than the analyzed upgrade option, sometimes that's the only option. When that's the only option, the way we can help is, well, we can do the data migration for you, and we also provide developers. We have quite a lot of experience with providing experienced NAV and BC developers. We can even provide entire teams to you. So if you get a project that's a little too big for your IT team or unexpectedly, and you need to undertake this now, we might be able to find you something on a short notice, and you're still able to do this.
Yeah, I mean that for me is a really interesting one because you're almost being used as kind of an extended part of the partner team. So to being able to add additional capability when necessary as well, it's definitely something that I think a lot of partners, especially ones that are very focused on that upgrade motion, really understand it, have done it multiple times. That's something that could really help ensure a happy customer at the end of the project, which, as we all know, is kind of the most important bit. So,
Yeah,
very cool.
that's what we try to be. So we try to support all partners on the technical field, whether they want to do upgrades themselves, just provide resources, assist them anyway, or if they're not experienced with upgrades, we can guide them through it, undertake the entire thing. For example, for implementation, as I said, we can provide developers, but if the partner does upgrades themselves, because we are very experience with upgrades, because we face them daily, we have developed a few automated tools to help us with that task. For example, one of our tools called Simplanova AL tool, it helps automate CAL to AL code conversion. We estimate that it saves about 30% developer time in projects, with it adds up to quite a lot of developer hours on top of some quality of life improvements for developers. So even if you are performing upgrades themselves, we pretty much have a way to help all partners
Okay.
on the technical side.
And I think that's an important point as well. It's not that you just got a ton of people in Vilnius or whatever. It's the only city in Lithuania I know, so apologies if it's not there.
No, spot on.
Oh
Bullseye.
well, good guess. It's not that you just got a bunch of people there. You do have tooling to help. Yes, streamline. Yes, help, but also get that repeatability across your project. So if you're a partner out there with a bunch of NAV customers that are looking to you're looking to help move to BC, then you get the same experience every time you work with Simplanova, which I think is an important part as well.
Yes, most definitely. In fact, there are some creative ways that some partners will use our help. As I said, we do provide a free analysis. So sometimes partners will request our evaluations for prospect customers, so for their first meeting with them. Or, for example, one partner is, when he has a bigger upgrade on the line, he will request our clean starts to upgrade their customers for a little bit as a demo to show them cloud. For example, let's say they're on NAV, and he will pay for the clean start, they go to cloud, so they can make the decision whether to do this big upgrade or not, more informed. And that's actually a very effective way to do this, because
Sure.
if you're working on NAV and you're used to it, you forget how many quality of lives BC might have. For example, on NAV, when you open a document, you actually work with that document directly. So any changes that you make to it are applied to it immediately. This is not the way we usually use the computer, so it's a bit uncomfortable. Which you compare, let's say on BC, you open a document, it actually takes a copy of that document, places it into temporary memory, and you edit the copy in the temporary memory, not the actual file. So let's say you open the wrong file, you made all those changes, and then you realized, oh, damn, that's the wrong file. You can just discard it, and the original file is untouched. You don't have this option on NAV. So when you do this demo for them, it really motivates them to actually do the upgrade after trying it out.
That seems like a really smart way of doing it, and yeah, it's separating you from the way that other people would have been speaking to that prospect. That sounds like a really smart way. Although you've now given it away, so
I'm
everybody
sorry.
watching this will want to do the same thing. So yeah, that's good. Cool. And then I think, yeah. So was there anything else you wanted to cover about Simplanova and the tooling? Anything else you wanted to cover?
No, basically, if you need any assistance with anything from technical side, NAV, BC, actually, in fact, GP now as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to move on to the
Oh,
other bit. So yeah, absolutely. So because obviously the nav opportunity is huge, especially in
yeah.
Europe. Literally thousands of nav customers. We're working with the Dutch team as an example to do some work because I think the Netherlands has got one of the largest concentrations of nav on-prem customers, so to move them. But the other opportunity is obviously Great Plains or GP in the US. So do you want to talk to what you're doing out there as well?
Well, it's pretty simple. Microsoft announced end of support for GP, so a lot of end users find themselves with, we need to migrate somewhere, but not a lot of partners are equipped to provide migrations like these. As far as I know, there's only one, and the other one is Simplanova. So we made quite a few. We have quite a bit of experience with this now, and we're also developing an automated calculator so we can immediately give a fixed price for such a migration. We can help if you have customers that are on GP and are looking to go to BC Cloud. We can assist with that. And also, if you're looking to just, get more customers, right? GP customers are looking where to go, and if you can help them out, easy way to pad up your numbers.
Very cool. So that's available today, the GP stuff?
Yes, it's available today. The calculator will be available shortly.
Okay.
But if you need a price for that, just message me. I'm happy to help.
Yeah, and we'll put Adonis's email address up in a minute on the screen, and I'll read it out as well. And then I know the other thing that you wanted to talk about was Business Central 2026. There's some changes coming there as well.
Yes. It's important to be aware of breaking changes coming with BC26. I won't pretend this is all in my head. There's a great post by Stefano Demiliani on this topic. But to summarize, a lot of tables and fields will be disappearing from the standard. This means that if your extensions, your customizations rely on those tables or fields, they need to be adjusted before the forced BC26 update. We hear that it's going to happen 5 months after BC26 is released, but even for all cloud users, if this happens and they're unprepared, your end users might find themselves working without their customizations. We can fix this headache for you. Let us know if this is the first time hearing. It is good to be aware of this early.
Okay, and what we'll do is we'll add the link to the article underneath when we finish this call. We'll add it there, and you can have a read through it. Great. Well, thank you very much, Adonis, for walking us through all that. I know we're working with Simplanova. We've been talking and working together since Directions EMEA last year, and so really pleased working with Simplanova. It's great. We've now got your calculator as part of our Guide Discover application. This isn't really meant to be a plug for Guide, but if you are a Guide user and you're watching this, then the Simplanova calculator is actually now part of Discover, so you can just use it as such. So yeah, really thanks again for coming, Adonis. I know some of you watching this may well be going out to Directions North America. And I believe Simplanova will be out there as well. So if you're interested in finding out more, then email Adonis and he'll put you in touch with the North American team as well. So with that, then, I just want to thank you, Adonis, for your time. Thank you for doing this. I know it's not your favorite thing to do in the world, but I think you got through it in one piece and did a really great job. So thank you very much, Adonis. And thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you to Virgin for letting me get through this without my internet going down again. And I look forward to seeing you all in the near future. Thank you very much and have a great rest of your week.